Welcome to Enter the Fungeon. I am Tony, your DM, and we're joined by our players. What's up, players?
What's up?
What's up, player? Player.
We're going to start the session off like we always do with our insight check. This week's insight check is, who is or was the most important person to you?
The last person that was important to me was my beloved Austrian, but after he abandoned me, he's the least important.
I'd have to say my master Manchun. Before he left the monastery, he was quite the father figure to me.
Well, mine definitely was my brother Bryson. He gave his life protecting me, and, well, he's not around anymore.
And mine was me captain. He came to a fatal end when a dagger slit his throat.
Well, it's always good to get to know the characters a little bit better. So, last week when we played, you guys stopped a fight because it just wasn't right. You fought a troll from the glory hole. You got a mission from Volo, but you couldn't go solo, so you grouped up to find Floon at the Skewered Dragon Saloon.
I hate you.
And that's where we were. You guys were headed to, I mean, you did a bunch of other shit too, but so you guys were headed towards the Skewered Dragon.
So we're approaching this bar.
The Skewered Dragon looks like a ruin. Both of its front-facing windows are smashed, and the ship's anchor is lodged into the roof. Through the windows, you can see a group of haggard patrons drinking from huge tankards. What do you guys do?
It looks pretty fun in there.
I was going to say the opposite.
What do you mean? Everybody's having a great time. We should go in. Oh, right, we're supposed to be doing something.
Aye, we got money on the line.
I was gonna say, these look like your kind of people.
I don't know any of them.
Okay.
Can I see anyone I know?
You could roll a perception check.
12.
So through the door, there's 3 guys sitting at the bar, and there's a bartender. You don't recognize anybody.
So we can see like right in to the, like there's a broken door,
Yep.
or it's... Thank God I don't have to touch any door handles. So who wants to go in first? I feel like...
I'm already opening the door. Let's go, ladies first.
Oh, okay. And I walk
Do I
in
look
carefully.
like a drunk to you?
Are you? I don't know.
You said I might know some of these guys.
It's a pirate ship. You look like a pirate.
Oh.
I'm gonna walk towards the bar.
So you guys walk into the Skewered Dragon. It is definitely a very run-down bar. You can see that anchor from the inside coming in through the roof of the building. You also see that there's 3 what appear to be regulars sitting at the bar. And the reason why you think they're regulars is because there's a nameplate at each one of their seats. The nameplates read Knuckles Thornton, Madman Brady, and Smokey Augustin.
I'm going to carefully walk into the bar because I'm worried about stepping into anything dirty along the way. And I'm careful to not walk underneath the anchor because that seems ominous to me.
Meanwhile, I just storm straight up to the bar and put my elbow down on the bar. Excuse me, bartender.
Yes, what do you have?
I would like your finest ale, please.
Absolutely. And he turns around to go get you some ale.
And then I lean. Where are you? Are you like next to me at this point?
It takes me a minute to get over there. It's not a very crowded place, right?
Nope, the only people that are inside of it are the 3 people at the bar, the regulars, and the bartender.
Okay.
And now
so
you guys.
So when you get up next to me to the bar, I lean over and I'm like, when he gets back, I'll ask about the guy, and then we'll have like rapport. And I kind of nod my head like I'm very smart.
That is correct. That is a good way to do this. Did you ask if he had any wine or like a wine menu?
He ran off pretty quick after I asked for an ale, but I can ask when he comes back. And then I turn back to those 2, and I'm like, are you guys coming or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way over. Sit next to Xoruk. Wait to order a drink.
Yeah, Rigzee also walks up and climbs up onto the stool.
As Rigzee's climbing his way into the stool, the barkeep comes back over and puts down your ale. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that you had friends with you. What can I get for everybody?"
Could I see a wine menu?
I only carry elven wine, red.
I will take that.
Perfect. For you, sir?
I'll have a red wine.
Red wine as well. And you, sir?
I'll have an ale.
Ale it is. I will return in just a moment with your drinks. And he turns around and walks back to the bar.
Xoruk, weren't you going to ask him a question when he got back?
I sip my ale, and I'm like, was I?
Guess we'll wait till he comes back again to ask.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to ask about the wine menu for you. I'm sorry.
I thought the plan was to ask him about Floon.
Oh yeah. We'll do that when he comes back. And I go back to sipping my drink.
Xoruk, what happened to your drawing? Maybe we can have that ready for when he gets back.
I pull out the drawing out of my pocket and I pat it down on the bar and unfold it and kind of turn it around and get it all prepared. I'm very proud of this, so I want to keep it all clean and nice looking for when he sees it.
As you're flattening this paper to show him the drawing, he walks back over with everybody else's drinks, and he sets them down in front of everybody.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
I point to the drawing and I tap on top of it and I'm like, have you seen this guy in here? Or somebody that looks exactly like this guy in here?
Well, I suppose it depends on which one. It looks like a couple of different people.
Like who?
There's a guy named, I think it was Floon, if I'm not mistaken. He comes in here every once in a while. And then Raynar, Neverember, kind of looks like that as well.
Actually, we're looking for Floon, but I turn to Keno and I'm like, I think we might be looking for both of them now. Are you sure it's not the same guy?
Fairly certain. I mean, they were here together a couple nights ago.
Oof. Have you seen them since?
No, actually. I don't really remember much. They were here, if I'm not mistaken, one of them, I can't remember which one, was here with Volo earlier in the evening. Volo left, and... yes, he must have been with Floon, because Reynald came in afterwards, and they sat for a while and played Three Dragon Ante. Honestly, I don't remember much after that. You could possibly ask Knuckles, Brady, or Augustin over there. They're here every night. They see everything.
Thank you. And I immediately just turn and walk up to the three guys.
Sir?
Huh?
It's gonna be 1 gold for everybody's drink, so 1 for each of you, please. 4 gold total.
Oh, sorry. And I put 2 gold on the bar.
Put a gold on the bar.
I also give him 1 gold.
Same. Rigzee also.
So you guys all pay up.
And then I go back to storming over there, walk up to the three guys, and I'm like, hey, friends, let me buy you guys a drink.
Hey, that'd be pretty cool of you, actually.
What are you drinking?
Well, I just like plain old ale.
And that's the guy that's sitting in front of the Knuckles Thornton nameplate.
And you? I assume you must be, Brady?
Yes, Madman Brady. That's me. You gonna buy me a drink too?
Yeah, what are you drinking? The whole table, why not?
Just straight vodka.
My man.
It's a delicacy from another plane that we only get here.
Nice, I'll have to give it a try sometime. And, you, Smokey?
Smokey's kind of just like rocking back and forth in his chair. So he's shaking his head no, and he's looking down at his hands, and he kind of looks like Rain Man. And he's like, definitely, yes, definitely. I'll take just a wine, please. Thank you. Definitely, yes.
All right, then. I'll be right back. And I walk back up to the bartender. Can I get a ale, vodka, and wine?
Yeah. It's for the guys over there, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send it down their way.
Awesome. So I storm back over to those guys in the corner, and I'm like, so, while we're waiting on those drinks, do you mind if I ask you guys some questions?
Questions? Depends on what kind of questions you're gonna ask, I suppose.
Well, actually, I'm just looking for this guy, and I start patting myself for the picture, but I realize that I left it back on the bar, and I sigh. I'm like,
You look over at me and I'm just waving the picture in my hand.
I motion for her to bring it over. I'm like, come on, get over here.
I walk carefully to not step in anything dirty or puddles. And I make my way over to the group and I go, here you go, Xoruk. I think you need this.
Thank you. And I take the picture from her and I show these guys all proud, hands out. I'm like, have you seen this guy?
Oh, yeah, Raynar Never Ember. I know that. Fuck, he's,
Yeah, or Floon, or whoever.
I don't know who that Floon guy is, but, you know, that Raynar's a chip off the old block. He's just another spoiled rich noble kid who likes to rub our noses in it.
He sounds like an asshole.
Yeah, well, you know, his dad stole thousands of gold dragons from the community and hid them away for himself.
That's horrible.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. That's why he doesn't live here anymore.
I lean over to Phaerl and I'm like, why are we trying to help this guy?
Trying to help him recover the gold from the people?
No, like, why are we trying to help find him? He seems like a dick.
We're not trying to look for Raynar, we're looking for Floon.
Oh, right.
So what is a noble doing hanging around an establishment like this?
I don't know. He comes here all the time, but he's not welcome here. We kind of make him feel pretty shitty a lot of the times because, like I said, we don't really care for him or his family, but he comes here and gambles a lot.
Is gambling big here?
Not so much for the three of us, but yeah, people come here every couple of days, every 3 days or so. We get together a little tournament and they play for keeps.
Well, you guys seem like good people, so I'm just gonna tell you, we're looking for this guy named Floon who apparently hangs out with this guy, and I don't really care so much about that, but there's a reward in it for us, and,
Well, what's this Floon guy look like?
well, he looks exactly like Raynar, apparently.
Oh, like the guy that was here with him the other day?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen him since that day, but they were playing Three Dragon Ante for a while. They left about midnight-ish. There were 5 other guys here that I haven't seen since that day either, and they kind of left pretty hurriedly after old Raynar and Floon, you said this guy's name is? That's a weird fucking name, but...
I agree.
So 5 other guys, you said you've never seen them before. What did they look like? Anything that stood out to you?
As you ask that question, Smokey from the corner is just, again, shaking, nodding his head
He's so
up and
agreeable.
down. And he says, yes, definitely. Candle Lane. Look for the snake symbol on the door. It's a snake symbol. There's 5 guys. They hang out there all the time. Yes, definitely. It's definitely them. They haven't been here. Definitely them. Yes, definitely.
Candle Lane?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Is he okay?
Yeah, we work on the docks. He got hit on the head a while back, and because of Raynar's dad, they won't let him collect disability. They still make him work.
This guy is a dick.
He's really fucking smart, though. Like, if you dropped matches on the ground or something, he could tell you exactly how many you dropped. It's the craziest shit.
I don't know how that would be a useful skill.
I don't either, but he can do it.
I take out a bunch of matches and throw them on the ground. I want to see it happen. I don't know.
As Phaerl drops this box of matches on the ground, the barkeep comes up and puts the drinks down in front of each of the men, knowing their order as they are regulars of the establishment. And he nods his head to you all and walks back down. towards
Wait.
The other end. What?
Here. And I pay him for the drinks.
He's like, oh, looks like we're both a little forgetful. Thank you. Thanks for being honest. I really appreciate. You know what? This one's on the house, and he gives you your money back.
Thanks, man.
Sometimes honesty goes a long way.
I agree.
And he nods at you and turns around and walks towards the other end of the bar.
I'm just looking at Smokey, and I'm like, so how many would you say are here?
124. 124. Definitely. Yes, definitely. You look at the box of matches, and it contains 130 matches. You look in, and there's 6 matches left inside of the box.
And this is, I assume, a brand new box of
You
matches.
grabbed it off the bar, I assume, because you didn't have matches when you walked in here.
Wow, that's amazing that you're able to do that.
Xoruk
Yes,
just
definitely.
claps.
Definitely, yes.
That was amazing.
So Rigzee, you're closer to the ground. Could you maybe pick these up?
Rigzee is still sitting at the bar, drinking. He never got down and walked over to you guys.
I yell across the bar. Rigzee! Be a dear!
I don't turn around.
Who's gonna clean up this mess?
So what are you guys doing?
I'm now cleaning up matches off the ground.
So we're still sitting at the bar, right?
Yeah.
You and I. So Keno's going to turn to Rigzee and say, "How do you know Yagra?"
She saved me life. At least got me up on my feet again.
Okay. I could see her doing that.
I washed ashore in this city. She found me on the beach.
Did your boat sink? What happened? Do you remember?
Oh, I remember. I clutch my fist and take another swing at my ale.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk about that a different time.
What about you?
We were both mercenaries for the Zentarum, part of a black network.
How long you know Yagra?
A long time. Very long time.
Weird, she'd never mention you.
Told her not to.
Oh, and I sip my
Kind
ale
of the
again.
code type thing. All right, cool. Well,
Well, I'm gonna go down and see what those matches are about.
yeah, might as well.
So you guys walk
Okay.
over to where the other people are.
I've already picked up all the matches. Oh, Rigzee, you really could have helped me out here.
You be doing a magic trip?
So these gentlemen here have actually told us they saw Floon and Raynor leaving just a few days ago after some gambling, and some men followed him out that are known to be nearby on Candle Lane. Maybe we should go there.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. It's the best lead we've had so far.
All right, let's go on our way to Candlestick Lane. And I start walking out the door. And then I stop immediately when I get to the door, and I'm like, do any of you guys know how to get there?
No.
I'm not real familiar with this neighborhood, to be honest.
I'm
Let's
gonna
get
look
directions.
at the 3 gentlemen and ask them if they know which direction it's in. What direction it'd be in?
Yeah, it's just down the street past the Zoblob shop. Couple blocks. You're gonna see Candle Lane. Can't miss it. Street sign says Candle Lane.
All right, to Candlestick Lane, let's go. And I start walking out the door again. So I head in the direction of the Zoblob shop.
So while we're walking to the Zoblog, or past it, or, up towards it, I'm gonna, motion Keno to, stay back a little bit to, ask him some questions.
Okay, so you guys walk past the Zoblob shop, and Keno, do you kind of tail back to talk with Rigzee?
Yeah, so I'd slow my pace a little bit and kind of fall back.
You remember our conversation at the bar?
Yeah. About how Yagra saved you.
Ye know anyone of the name of Phaerl or Krebig?
No? Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh,
Who are they?
they be on my shit list.
What'd they do?
They took me captain out.
Oh, shit. It was those guys, huh?
Yeah. Threw me off board and Yagra saved me life.
Well, why, though? Is that what you're trying to figure
Your
out?
guess is as good as mine.
We'll have to figure this one out. I'm down to help.
Yes.
I don't know those people, though.
I turn away from him. I
Do the
clutch
Tiger
my
Woods.
fist. Yeah,
Do I notice them, like, lingering back and talking amongst themselves?
All right, roll a perception check.
7.
No. You're just happy old Xoruk leading the
walking
way
with
to
my arms
Candlestick Lane, apparently, which is a completely different street in a different ward all the way across town. You stop and ask for directions, and they're like, "Wait a minute, you're way far out.
You're
you
lost."
need to, you need to go back about 17 miles the other way."
No, Xoruk, don't go that way. It's Candle Lane. It's this way.
Gloom envelops a narrow alley as dark as a dungeon, and as odorous as one too. Nearly all of the street lamps have been smashed. The only light that pierces the darkness is fainted flickering from down the lane, like a distant candle.
I just want to say I have dark vision.
I
Yes.
think I have dark vision too, actually.
I also have
Oh, cool.
dark vision.
Yeah, dark vision too.
Correct. I have dark vision also.
Everybody's got dark vision too. You guys see everything in black and white. The flickering light is coming from one street lamp that's still intact down at the end of Candle Lane.
I look at the street sign and I'm like, I think this is the wrong street.
No, Xoruk, this is the right one. They said Candle Lane. Let's go. Let's find that door.
Oh, okay.
How far back are Keno and...
They're only like
Rigzee.
15 feet away.
All right, so I'm going to put our blinker on, and we turn down Candle Lane. And I'm looking for a door. I'm looking for a door with snakes on it.
Okay, so roll an investigation check.
15.
The buildings on either side of Candle Lane are so tall that they're very tightly packed together. As you walk down, you look at all the doors to all of the houses, and underneath the one light, you notice a ramshackle 2-story warehouse with a black snake with wings on the door.
Would I recognize that as the Zentarum symbol?
Yes.
This looks like the place.
You come up to this warehouse at the end of the street, and you see that there is a small door that has the symbol on it, and then there's a larger, like almost a garage style door, and a window to the north. The doors are on the east, and it's kind of like a little yard that leads you in. So there's a fence with a gate that surrounds the yard that leads to the door. So the yard is like 25 feet by like 70 feet.
How tall is this fence?
A 10-foot tall fence.
Okay.
I'm going to check the gate to see if we can just open it.
And it creaks as you push it open. There are seemingly 3 points of entry. There's a window, like I said, to the north, because it's like a L-shaped building. So the window is on the smaller part of the L, whereas to the large door and the small door are on the longer part of the L.
I'm going to go over to the window and just kind of peek in.
You peek in, and there are tables and chairs that have been carelessly tossed across the floor. Actually, roll perception for me. We'll see how much information I'm going to give you.
13.
You see a couple of Kenkus walking around in the bigger part of the room, but you also see a couple of bodies on the floor as well.
Can I tell if the bodies are dead?
They appear to be dead.
While this is happening, Xoruk is walking up to the door. He's just planning on knocking on it.
I'm going to try and get their attention because I am a little spooked by the bodies. And I'm like, guys, wait.
What?
Shh. And I wave them over and like try to like motion for them to be quiet.
What are you doing with your hands?
Oh my God, someone quiet him.
I think she's trying to get us to be quiet and go back over there.
Oh,
Come on, let's go.
And I walk over towards her.
what? I'm gonna motion over to the window and tell them what I saw. There's bodies in there, and I don't think we should just go knocking on the door. They might get spooked, and we might be next.
The bodies might get spooked.
The people who turned them into dead bodies. There were a couple Kenkus just walking around, and I assume that they're the ones that did it.
Well, let's go kill them.
I mean, I don't think that's violence is the answer, but maybe
Oh.
we should proceed with caution.
How would you like to proceed?
Well, we're here trying to get answers, and could I have seen if any of the bodies were Floon's body?
Out of the few bodies that you saw, none of them resembled Floon.
Keno, what do you What do you think would be a good reason for us to be here that they're not going to immediately presume we're a threat?
You got any jerky?
Any what?
Like beef jerky?
I like dried meat.
Not on me currently. Do you just need like a snack or?
I am pretty hungry, actually, if you're asking.
Do the Kenku have any, like, tattoos or markings I would notice?
You didn't see him?
I want to look inside the window.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
That's funny.
No, the Kenkus do not look to have tattoos on them, but they are wearing cloaks, hooded cloaks. They have short swords on them. And you can see with your nat 20, there are 5 human bodies on the floor that all look like Zentarum mercenaries. They all have the tattoo.
Okay, here's the deal. Those guys are not good. We really don't need a reason to go in because the people who are supposed to be in here are dead. That's the bodies on the floor. So
what are we supposed to do with that? We're here to get information. We can't get information from a dead body.
just telling you what I see. We can
I mean-
go in and investigate a little more. Maybe there's something laying around. Another room. I don't know.
So are we gonna go in and kill these guys or what?
Yeah, fuck it.
Maybe
They're
we
bad
should.
guys.
Let's do it.
Maybe we should alert the guards. Why are we doing this?
We just found bodies and walked into some criminals. I don't know. I'm going in anyway.
The answers might be within these walls, so I guess we're just gonna have to find the best way to get in. Maybe surprise them.
Can I try to kick down the door?
Yeah.
So I walk up to the door and I give it a big old kick. Would it just be strength?
Athletics, technically.
Okay. 16.
You run up to the door and you just 1 foot kick it. Just boom, right off its hinges. It falls to the floor.
Bust in like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, yeah.
Xoruk, that's not what I meant by being sneaky.
Whoa!
So just as Phaerl had seen, there are tables and chairs that have been carelessly tossed across the floor. The corpses of a dozen men lie along the walls. Their rapiers and daggers are lying nearby. On the north side of the area, stairs rise to a level above. 4 short avian creatures with long beaks and black feathers look over in surprise where they stand in the middle of the warehouse. Each wears a hooded cloak and wields a short sword. So I guess everybody roll initiative. Phaerl,
4.
Keno,
15.
Xoruk,
6.
Rigzee.
10.
All right, Keno, you're up first. You guys are inside of this warehouse. So you know the Zentarum. You would know that this is one of their hideouts. They use it to train sellswords, which are mercenaries, just like yourself. So there's a bunch of different crates full of all sorts of different weapons and armors and rations and food and all sorts of stuff that the mercenaries need. They're standing in the middle of the warehouse. You are just outside of the doors. You're about 20 feet after you enter through the door.
And they're clearly aggressive. So I'm going to go on the offensive. I'm going to attack the Kenku on the far right with my short sword.
Okay, roll your attack roll.
6. It was a nat 1, but 6 with my...
Then you miss.
I will make a unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Cool, go ahead and roll your attack. See if you hit.
That'll be a 20, not natural.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
6 damage.
So you run up to the Kenku on the farthest right. You swing at him with your short sword, and you just miss. So you come back around with a spinning back fist, and you end up hitting him right in the head. And he looks bloodied. His mouth starts bleeding from your punch.
You motherfucker. And that'll be the end of my turn.
All right, so we're going to go over to Rigzee. You're up.
I'm going to use my bonus action to kind of like sneak into there, like through the door. And
Because you're still outside, right?
Yeah,
Okay, let's see if you can hide. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
that one.
So you go you go to run in through the door, and you make it about 15 feet
It's that
as
peg
you
leg.
trip over the bottom of the door, and you fall prone. So you still have about half your movement left. So you could use 15 feet to stand up, and you'll have used all of your movement for your turn, but you'll be up.
Yeah, I'm going to get up, dust myself up,
Saw that.
and then throw one of my daggers at the guy closest to us that's in the middle between the far left and right.
Go ahead and roll your attack roll on your dagger.
7 to hit.
Unfortunately, you throw that dagger and it misses and sticks into the big crate to his right. Is that your turn?
That is Rigzee's turn.
All right, we're going to go over to Xoruk.
So I'm going to run forward at the guy that's directly in front of me. He's in the middle of the room up front. And I'm going to take a giant swing at him over the head with my great axe. And that's going to be 18 to hit.
That hits.
5 damage.
You hit this Kenku with your great axe and it cuts him. He's looking pretty fucked up.
Ha! That's what you get for messing with us.
Is that your whole turn?
Yes.
All right, so we go over to Phaerl.
So I'm going to walk into this warehouse and kind of slide along the wall furthest from everyone. And I'm going to cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
So I can pick 3 targets, and I'm going to pick the 3 that are closest to us.
So the 3 that are in front, the one on the left, the one in the center, and the one on the right. And then there's another guy farther behind the one in the center behind some boxes.
Yeah, so I'm going to...
So you're going to go for the 3 guys up front.
The 3 that are up front, yes.
Cool.
24 to hit.
That will hit. Do you roll them separately?
Nope.
It's 1 attack roll for all 3 targets?
And they all hit simultaneously. Correct.
Okay, dope. Usually those spells have where you have to roll each attack roll.
So 3 damage to each.
So the one on the right does not take this very well. He looks pretty fucked up. He's on death's door. The one in the center, same thing. He starts to spit up a little bit of blood. He's on death's door as well. The one on the left is still fresh, so he only took a little bit of damage. He's doing all right.
Okay, so that's my turn.
Cool. So these 3 light blue darts come out of your what?
Comes out of my palm. So I put up my hand and shoot them like pins almost.
So yeah, just like Yondu with his fucking whistle arrow thing. You shoot these 3 magic missiles and you hit all 3 of your targets.
Nice hit, Phaerl.
And that's going to go to the Kenkus. So the one in the center is going to go first, and he's going to take a swing at Xoruk, who is right in front of him. 16 to hit.
It hits.
He takes 6 points of damage from his short sword
Ah!
as he slashes at you with it. And then the one on the right is going to take a slash at Keno, who's in front of him. And that's a 12 to hit.
That does not hit.
So he swings his short sword and he hits into the wall, kind of tinks off the side of the wall of the warehouse. And then the one on the left is going to run up to Rigzee, who is directly in front of him, who tripped into the door. He runs up 20 feet, and he's going to take a swing at Rigzee with his short sword as well. And that's definitely going to hit. 23. And he hits you for 6 points of damage. The Kenku in the back runs to his right, which is your left, and he runs farther into the warehouse. His full movement speed, which would be 30 feet. And he was going to try and hide, but he rolled a nat 1, so he trips over some boxes full of armor and weapons as he's trying to hide from you guys.
He pulled a Rigzee.
And that's going to go to the top of the order. Keno, you're up.
So the Kenku directly in front of me
Is the one that hit you. Or missed you, but tried to hit.
attempted to hit me, missed, and took out part of the wall of the warehouse. It's quite a swing, gotta say, taking chunks out of a wall. I want to grapple him to see why they did it, because these people are my family. So I want to know why they killed my family.
Okay, so you can go ahead and do a grapple check. It's just opposed strength. Kenkus have +0 to their strength.
Nat 20.
So if I roll a nat 20, that's an 18. He rolled an 18, so he was close.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, you reach out and you pick up this little Kenku birdman and you grapple him in your arms.
So I'm going to say to him, why did you do this?
So Kenkus are known to only speak in mimic sounds. They don't have their own voice. They're kind of like parrots in that way. And you ask him that, and he says,
Xanathar sends his regards.
What the fuck does that mean?
Tie up the pretty boy in the back room. Follow the yellow signs in the sewers.
You guys are hearing this, right?
No time to loot the place. Just get him to the boss.
These birds are freaking crazy. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Clearly they have Floon tied up somewhere and they went through the sewers. So, I guess we should probably finish what we're doing here first.
They're like mimicking, right? Would we recognize any of the voices?
Roll a history check.
That's a great question.
7.
No, you don't recognize any of these voices. Even if it was somebody you knew, you probably still wouldn't be able to recognize the voice through the Kenku's impersonation.
So that'll be my turn.
That's going to go over to Rigzee.
Can I take out that health potion and drink it without it being my action? Is that interacting with an object or...
Technically, interacting with an object is an action, but for everybody listening to the podcast, we've always played a homebrew rule where you're allowed one interact with an object per turn. I consider interacting with a potion to be interacting with an object. I don't feel that it breaks the flow of combat, so yes, you can use your interact with an object to take your potion. I also don't do rolling for potions. Potions do the max amount because they're supposed to heal you.
Because math is hard, guys.
Yeah, fuck math.
So Rigzee's gonna take his health potion out.
Cool. So
Chug
you
that
gain
down.
your 10 health back.
And I'm gonna take out my rapier and charge towards the guy who slashed me.
I mean, he's right in front of you. So you don't
but,
got to
like,
charge.
the motion of like me taking it out and like drawing back and like charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're lunging at him.
14 to hit.
That hits.
Well,
Roll your damage
time.
and then tell me how you do it.
10 damage. I'm just like charging and hitting him right in the chest and just skewering him kind of upwards because I'm short. I would assume he's taller than me.
Yeah. That was the one that had the most health, too. So you run up and you stab this bird in the chest, and your sword just impales right through the chest of this thing, and you pick it up off the ground just a tiny little bit, and then you realize it's too heavy for you because you're a tiny little goblin. So it kind of looks like he just jumps off the ground as you stab upwards into his chest, and he's dead.
Did you see that hang time?
Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Just slide him off of my rapier. Then that is my turn.
So that goes over to Xoruk.
So Xoruk is breathing real heavy. And he's like, not now. And he takes his great axe again and tries to slice this guy who just stabbed him.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
And it's going to be an 8 to hit.
Fortunately, that misses, so you start to feel a little enraged.
Yes, and all of a sudden, I just get quiet.
And then we go over to Phaerl.
So I see the guy attempt to flee, and I'm gonna run a little, not run, but I guess scoot a little bit further towards the corner of the building so that I can have him within my eyesight. Would you say
He's
that's
not going to be because he's
more-
laying on the ground and there's a shit ton of boxes in between you two.
Okay. So I can move 30 feet. So I'm going to, I guess, run closer to that corner then instead.
So you run up past Rigzee, who just killed this Kenku, and you run up past the Kenku's dead body and towards a bunch of the boxes with a bunch of the supplies in it.
Yep. So I'm trying to peer around the corner towards the Kenku that tried to run off and tripped and fell.
Okay, so roll a perception and we'll see if you can see him. I'll say DC 10.
18.
Cool, yeah. So you can see him. You get a line of sight on him as you kind of like lean over some of the boxes and tiptoe a little bit just to get a little line of sight on this dude laying on the floor from tripping over all those boxes.
And I'm going to shoot a Ray of Frost at him.
Cool. Is that just an attack roll?
It is a ranged spell attack.
Cool. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Nat 20.
All right. You know how we do crit hits. That's the first crit of the entire podcast.
Crit.
Another homebrew rule we do is the heavy crits, which means that she gets to max out her damage die, add her modifier, and then she gets to roll her die and add her modifier, and that is her crit.
So Ray of Frost is the D8, so it's going to be 8 plus the 6 I rolled. So it's going to be a total of 14. Suck it, math.
Yeah, you fuck this guy up. Tell me what happens. He's dead.
So I'm kind of reaching over these boxes trying to see where he is, and I see a ruffle of feathers, and I just shoot a little stream of frost right at the center of the feathers that I can see, and it explodes.
And it explodes.
Okay, that's
Cool.
That sounds like another ending.
You hit it with this ray of frost, and it starts to freeze over its entire body. Its whole body becomes one big block of ice, and then for some unknown reason, with no other force of nature acted upon it, the ice just shatters and explodes into a bunch of ice shards.
That is correct.
Cool. That happens. That's canon.
All right, yeah, that's my turn.
That's going to go over to the Kenkus. There's 2 of them left. The one all the way to the right in front of Keno is going to use a strength check and see if he can break out of your grapple. Go ahead and roll a strength check. He got a nat 20.
Damn. 20 in, 20 out.
Reverse of what happened to you.
9, so yeah.
So yeah, this dude puts his feathery arms up and just breaks up out of your grapple, and he runs past you. You can get an opportunity attack if you want as he runs past you.
Yes, I'm going to grab my short sword, swing it, like
All right.
backhanded.
Backhand it out of the sheath.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's an 18 to hit
That fucking hits.
for 6 damage.
Finish this guy.
So as I unsheath my short sword and turn around, I swing backwards and swing at his neck. I take his head off, and it kind of stays in place as the rest of his body continues on the path it was on.
Cool. So the body runs away from the head as you chop it off, and the head just falls in place where it was.
Like a chicken with his head cut off.
Newton's law, yo.
It's a Kenku with its head cut.
Yeah.
So the other Kenku is going to take the disengage action because he's not grappled by anybody and he doesn't have to waste his action to jump out. And he's going to run towards the door past Xoruk. All right, so that's going to go back to the top of the order. Keno, you're up.
So I'm going to grab a dart out of my jacket and turn around and throw the dart at the fleeing Kenku.
Roll a range attack.
It'd be a 10.
You throw this dart and it flies right by his head. Sticks into the wall behind him.
So then I'm going to move 15 feet,
You're going to walk around that box or you're going to jump over it?
jump over it.
All right, roll an athletics check. Or an acrobatics, whichever one's better for you.
8.
So you try to jump over this thing and you kind of do that thing where you hit your shin on it.
Ah, shit.
And you instead like step on top of it and then jump down and you use an extra 10 feet of movement to do so.
I'm now in front of the box, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to run it to Kenku, jump in the air, and come down with a flying elbow to the top of its head.
Dope. Go ahead and roll your attack.
11 to hit.
So you throw this dart, it misses, it flies by him. You run, you jump over, well, you try to jump over this crate and you smash your shin. You end up climbing over it like an old man. You get back on your feet on the other side of this crate and you run headlong at this dude and you try to elbow drop him and he kind of just like sidesteps you and you just hit the ground elbow first.
Oh,
And that's going to go over to Rigzee.
Rigzee's gonna look over to Keno on the floor. We be needing information from this one.
no, take him out.
I'm going to rush over, get closer to him, and try to do the same thing I did to the other.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack roll.
24,
That'll hit.
5 damage.
That's just enough. Finish him.
Do the exact same thing to him as I did to the other guy. And just like skewer him and lift him off the ground a little bit. In a bloody rage.
Cool. So you skewer this Kenku, and it falls to the floor, lifeless and dead. And you guys
Stab him
are
again.
out of
I
initiative.
spit on him and he hits the ground.
So I am still in a rage. And all I'm doing is staring at his dead body and going,
He got lucky. He got real lucky.
What do you guys do seeing? You've never seen Xoruk act like this before.
despite the fact that I'm super angry, I seem to have a very calm demeanor, but it's kind of got like a really bad aura to it.
So since I'm the closest to Xoruk, because I'm just past the boxes, I'm going to get a little closer to him and put my hand on his forearm. Are you okay there? Did you get hurt?
He immediately shifts his shoulder away and he's just like,
I didn't get hurt. It was this fool.
Well, they're all gone now.
He can never protect himself.
Who?
Xoruk, of course.
I kind of take a step back and I look very confused.
I'm looking over at Rigzee like, are you hearing this correctly? He's referring to himself as another person?
I take a few deep breaths, still as this same demeanor, but I calm down out of my rage. But you don't see any body language changes yet, other than that.
So if you're not Xoruk, who are you?
Well, I'm Xoruk the Mighty, of course. Listen, all I do is protect him, and that's all you need to know. I remember you. You guys have been good to him so far. Just make sure not to screw him over, or we'll have a problem.
And then all of a sudden, Xoruk just falls to his knees. What happened? My head hurts. Hey guys. So we got him, huh?
So I just stand there with my mouth agape because I have never seen anything like this before.
What?
I kick the dead body in front of me.
Yeah, we got him. Yep. So anyway, something about, sewers?
So you guys beat the shit out of these Kenkus, and what are you doing now?
I'm gonna stand up, and as I go to stand, I'm gonna, yep, still quite sore. You guys see any healing potions laying around here? And I'm gonna start kind of rummaging through these boxes that are in front of me.
Specifically looking for health potions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
7.
You are checking through the boxes in the middle of the room, and they only appear to have all sorts of different weapons, like bow staffs, short swords, great axes.
I pick up the bow staff out of the box specifically, and I throw it over my shoulder, and I'm like, there's just useless junk in here. There's no healing potions, and I start tossing weapons out.
Can I tell who made these weapons?
You can roll an investigation on it if you'd like.
Can I also see if any of, is there swords she's throwing out of this thing? See if any of them fit the scabbard?
Yeah, roll an investigation.
16.
Yeah, you see the Growlhound family logo.
Ugh, it is junk, you're right.
15.
None of the swords seem that they would be in the shape of the scabbard that you have.
You be right, just a bunch of junk.
Xoruk threw this bow staff carelessly behind him.
And it lands right in front of you.
Right in front of me.
It's like it fell from the heavens just
So
for you.
I'm going to pick it up. I'd like to investigate it, see what material it's made out of.
I don't think you want that garbage.
I'll be the one to make that decision.
Go ahead and roll a investigation check.
14.
You see the name Growlhound carved into it. It's made out of what seems to be a very hard wood.
This should work for now.
So I make a mental note that I'm going to make a better bow staff than that one to replace it.
I don't want to be a bummer, but I think we need to maybe take a rest or something before we head down into these sewers. I'm not feeling so great.
Can I rummage around to see if I can find some healing potions?
Where you want to look?
I'm going to go over to where the bird that I blew up was, because there was a bunch of boxes over there, and I'm going to rummage through those ones.
Okay, so you walk past the boxes in the middle of the room that Xoruk already checked out, and you head just past the staircase over to where the other dead Kenku is.
Exploded.
And there are some boxes there. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
4. I'm too disgusted by the bits of bird on the boxes to even look in them. I'm just like, nope, there's nothing over here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over and check those boxes. I don't give a fuck about the bits of pieces.
Okay, so Rigzee's gonna walk over, seeing the look of disgust on Phaerl's face. He's gonna walk over and help her out.
3. Yeah, you right, just garbage.
That's so gross.
Right, this is disgusting. As you get over, you realize it's a lot grosser than you thought it was going to be, and you're like, no. Yep, she was right. Disgusting. Definitely not.
So I'm going to make my way back there, too, and be like, Oh, it can't be that bad. As I look over Rigzee,
Cool. Take a look around.
16.
So as you're looking through these boxes, you do find 4 regular healing potions, and you also notice that there seems to be a door on the wall that's kind of been covered over and boarded over.
So I'm going to grab one of the healing potions, turn around to Xoruk, and say, "Hey, Xoruk, catch." And throw it.
God.
All right, go ahead and roll a dexterity for me.
22.
All right, so you throw this thing perfectly towards Xoruk. Xoruk, let's see if you catch it.
21.
All right, yeah, it's a beautiful toss, and you catch it. It looks like a Kool-Aid commercial. As you start
You're supposed
sloshing
to
down
drink
there.
I'm like, oh yeah. And I pop the top off and I chug it. Yeah, I feel a lot better, thank you.
So I'm going to pick up one of the health potions, stick it in my bag, and grab the other 2 with each hand and hold them up for Rigzee and Phaerl. Here you go.
Thank you. And I take it gingerly from his hand to inspect it to make sure it's not covered in any sort of bird guts.
Hey, it looks like there's a door over here too. And like to make my way over to the door. You said it was still covered up, or
Yeah, it looks like it hasn't been used in a while. It's got like some boards over it.
gonna do the dad thing, knock on it, and I look for something to pry the wood off.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different weapons and shit in this room that you could try and use.
All over
Yeah,
the place.
Okay, so I grab the closest sword nearby, and it seems sturdy enough to use to pry wood away.
All right, go ahead and roll a strength check and see if you can rip these. I'll say with advantage because you're using a tool.
17.
Yeah, you pry these boards off this door, no problem. As you take the last board off of the door, it kind of pops open just a little bit. And as it pops open a little bit, you guys can all hear the ringing of a bell sounding like it's coming from upstairs.
They're playing music for us. Is it because we defeated those guys and they're happy? We should wait. They're probably going to congratulate us.
I don't think that's what happens. Can I try and peek into the door?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoulder my way over there past Keno to look into the door. Is it investigation?
Yes.
7.
It looks like some sort of unused storage room, maybe. It's got some crates in here as well.
So it appears to be like a dead end.
I mean, it doesn't lead out, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
So, when the door was open, a bell started ringing.
Yes, it's still ringing. And it
I'd
sounds like it's coming from upstairs.
I'd like to investigate the door frame. Is there any, strings or anything that could
Go ahead and-
trigger an alarm?
Go ahead and investigate.
6.
Not that you could tell.
Maybe we should go check out that bell before we go in this room.
I agree.
Xoruk just shrugs.
Because apparently it's just music playing for us, so why not?
I mean, really, we're meant to be going into the sewers, so I feel like going upstairs is the opposite of that. But
Upside party.
do you really feel like there's a party up there?
Just looking on the bright side, what if?
Okay, well, I guess you go up first then, just in case. I want you to get the most of this party then.
And I try to sneak my way up just in case it's not a party.
Roll a stealth check.
14.
So you start climbing up the stairs of this building. You hear the noise as you're walking up the steps, and you hear it coming down to your right. You walk down a little metal pathway. It kind of overhangs the rest of the warehouse that you guys are in, and it walks around. It goes around the entire northern and eastern perimeter of the top of the warehouse, and it seems like the noise is coming from a room at the end of the hallway.
Is there any way for me to peek underneath the door or maybe through a keyhole?
Roll a perception check with disadvantage.
8.
You try to look through this keyhole, but it's all gunked up with mud or dirt or something.
While this is happening, Xoruk just looks at Phaerl, really sad. I really wanted to go to that party.
Sorry, honey, I don't think that was a party.
Rigzee said there was a party.
If there was a party up there, I think he would have exclaimed excitedly as he went up there, and he is very quiet right now.
It's a fair point.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna open the door the rest of the way.
As you open the door, you see 2 crates inside of this little storage closet.
I'm going to use that sword to pry the top of the left crate open. They're up against, you said, the back wall of that room.
Yep, and there's 2 of them, one on the left and one on the right.
So I will open the crate on the left.
Roll a strength check.
4.
You go to put this sword in to Jimmy open the top of the crate, and it just bends.
What a garbage sword, I told you.
We go back upstairs. What are you doing?
And try to open that door as quietly as I possibly can.
Okay, so roll a stealth check.
12.
You open the door, and it creaks as you open it. It seems to be an office of some sort used by the Zentarum. There are desks and chairs and bare shelves covered with dust and draped in cobwebs. There's a couple of rats that are skittering around on the floor, walking in and out of the other room, which the door is open to. You kind of peer over into that room, and you see it's just like a suite of offices. They all have desks and empty shelves, and rats kind of skittering through all of the offices up there. But you do happen to notice that there are little alarm bells above each door that are ringing.
Look up and just, and I'm gonna make my way back to the group to tell them.
While he is checking all that out, what are you doing, Xoruk?
Xoruk sees Keno trying to open the crate, and he says, "Let me help you with that, friend." And he takes out his great axe and tries to chop the wood off.
Okay, just roll an attack roll then.
19.
Go ahead and roll some damage.
5.
So you take your great axe and you swing it over your head and you fucking slash into this thing. Your axe breaks the crate right in half and happens to go through one of 4 paintings that were sitting inside. There are 4 paintings. One depicts the city of Luskan, one depicts the city of Neverwinter. The one that you shoved your great axe through depicts the city of Baldur's Gate. And the last one represents the city of Silvery Moon.
And I put my arm behind my head and I'm like, sorry, but it's open.
Is this gang known to steal works of art? Seems a little high class for their operation they have going on here.
Probably. It seems like something that would happen.
As you guys are having this conversation, Rigzee gets back downstairs.
Alright, we should probably get out of here. I think you might have been right. We probably should have got the guards for this. There'd be alarms.
I doubt those alarms are for the guards, considering what they're doing here.
Well, everybody here was dead, so we're probably safe. It's too bad it wasn't a party, though.
Would I know anyone to contact in the Zentarum to give them a heads up to this before it's reported to the guard?
Not in Waterdeep. I mean, Yagra. She's the only real Zent that you know in Waterdeep. All of your Zentarum friends are from Neverwinter.
So
Okay.
we be needing to get out of here.
We should probably make our way to the sewers.
I want to see what's in that other crate.
Okay. Roll a strength check.
It's 19.
Yeah, you are able to use your sword to pry open this other crate. And inside of it are 15 10-pound silver trade bars. They're a little bit black from corrosion, but they're probably still worth some money.
Yeah, we should get out of here.
Let's find out how we get down to the sewers. And
There's one sure way to make it there. And I'm going to go out the door that was kicked in that we came in through and out into the alleyway. And I'm going to look for some sort of like sewer cap or whatever the thing is called, a manhole cover.
As you start making your way towards the door, you hear sets of footsteps coming closer to the entrance where you're walking towards.
Oh, shoot.
A very uptight-looking man in a watch uniform comes walking in, followed by a dozen other watch. And they see all these dead Kenku on the floor, they see the dead Zentarum on the floor, and they see the 4 of you walking towards the door to leave.
Thank God you're here.
Well, looks like I was just in time to catch you guys murdering all of these people.
No!
Nope.
No.
That's not what happened.
We were trying to save these guys from these guys, and I point to the Kenku. But these assholes murdered the other ones before we could even get in. We heard screaming, we tried to help.
Sure, that's what they all say. All right, everybody, let's get him in cuffs. And the guards start coming around to handcuff you. One at a time, you guys are all handcuffed by these guards as this, what appears to be some sort of captain. Like I said, he's very uptight, so he carries himself very well as he walks around and starts searching through this warehouse. And he walks back to the storage closet behind the steps. He's in there for a few moments as you guys are getting handcuffed by the other watch. And you hear him yell, "We got a live one in here, boys. Come on." Two of the other guards that are there walk over towards this storage room. As you guys are handcuffed, they put you on your knees and say, we'll have you off in just a few minutes. Give us a few moments to secure the scene and figure out what all happened here, collect our evidence, and we'll be on our way to the jail. As they're telling you this, you guys all notice the captain coming back out of the room underneath the stairs with a man with reddish blonde hair.
Floon.
Where did he come from? Hey, Floon! Floon! And I start shouting at him. Floon, is that you?
He doesn't seem to pay you any mind as the captain is talking to him.
Raynor?
Why is he ignoring me? Floon!
Maybe it's his look-alike. Raynar, is that you?
As Phaerl yells Raynar loud enough for him to hear it, he kind of looks up at you guys. You can't hear what he's saying because he's a little too far away, but you can see that him and the captain are talking back and forth with each other, and he shakes his head no at the captain, and the captain kind of talks to him for another minute or two before coming over, and he looks at the other guards and he goes, "Okay, well, I'm afraid I may have been mistaken. It doesn't seem to be that these four have anything to do with it. Reynald Neverember is here, and he says that it was the Zentarum that are dead on the floor that captured him, and a group of Xanathar that killed the Zentarum, so you can release these four. What were you doing here?"
Looking for him. Well, Floon. But he looks like him. Still confused about that. I guess they're different guys.
I hold up the picture.
Oh yeah, and then I try to hold up the picture, but then I realize I'm still handcuffed, and I'm like, I have a picture I drew, and I'm smiling up at the guard.
"Release them," says the captain, as the guards all start coming around and uncuffing you.
The minute I'm out of my handcuffs, I pull out the picture, and I'm like, "See, look, I drew this picture because we were looking for this guy, Floon, and he looks just like that guy, and I guess they hang out together, or they're brothers or something."
And Reynald comes over. "Well, we're not brothers. That's quite funny. We do definitely appear to be lookalikes, doppelgangers, perhaps. But I feel really bad, actually, because these Zentarum guys snatched us at the bar the other day. They thought I would have information about the Stone of Galore because my father is the one who created it and hid the gold. As far as I'm concerned, it probably doesn't exist. My dad was a piece of shit, and I'm glad he's gone. But for some reason, these guys seem to think that I would know something. They mistaked Floon for me. They caught us coming out of the bar. They took us both here. The Xanathar Guild found out, and they came here looking for me. I hid in that storage room. They killed all of the Zentarum and took your friend. I could only assume down to the sewers where their hideout is.
How do we get down there?
I know a place. I could probably come with you." And the captain looks over and, "Well, it's best not to meddle in criminal matters. You should probably leave this to the watch. But if you have to, all I'm going to say is keep the blood off the streets, okay? If the Zentarum and the Xanathar Guild want to destroy each other, who am I to stop them? I just don't want it happening on my streets."
You got it, sir.
We should probably get out of here and not press our luck any further.
Yeah, whatever you say.
"Well, let me just grab one of these," and he reaches down and grabs one of the short swords off of the ground that the Kenku had, and he is going to say, "Let's go. I'll lead the way."
All right behind you.
Let's do it.
Aye. It's now nighttime. You guys are heading through a couple of alleyways through the city when you get to a cart. Reynald looks to his left and looks to his right, and he says, "This is it. If one of you guys wants to move the cart."
Xoruk walks around and lifts up the cart, starts pushing it.
So you push the cart out of the way, and it reveals a manhole that leads down into the sewers.
Zora, think you can get that manhole off too?
Yeah, absolutely I can. And I squat down and I start trying to lift it up with my hands.
Go ahead and roll a strength check, and we'll see if you can pry this lid off.
Ooh, I got a nat 20. So
Hell yeah, so
23.
you don't even bend down to lift this thing up. You just like stomp your heel onto it, and it just flips up, and you catch it in your hands, and then you throw it off like a frisbee, and it smashes into some poor shop owner's shop.
Oh my god. See, I told you I could do it.
Well,
You're welcome.
Fuck
Good
yeah,
job.
Good job.
This is the place.
I lean over to Raynar and I'm like, "You're not gonna need that manhole cover back, right?"
This has nothing to do with me. I'm not part of their guild or anything.
Excellent, let's go.
I'll lead the way. And he climbs down the sewer first.
I follow behind him.
I will follow behind Zora.
Ladies first. And I like motion for you to get into the manhole.
Okay. And I climb down, but I'm like pinching my nose.
Gagging the whole time.
Yeah.
I go down the manhole too.
A putrid steam flows along this sewer tunnel, which leads in two directions. In one direction, you see a tiny symbol drawn on the wall in yellow chalk. A palm-sized circle with 10 equidistant spokes radiating out from its circumference. And that's where we'll end our session. Thank you guys for checking out Enter the Fungeon. Again, I was Tony, your DM. You can check us out on patreon.com/enterthefungeon. For as low as $5 a month, you can support us. It gives you all sorts of cool bonus content as well. You can suggest names, suggest magic items. You can follow us on Twitter at Fungeon Podcast. You can go to our Instagram, Enter the Fungeon Podcast. There's also a link on our Instagram to our Discord page. You can find us on Facebook at Enter the Fungeon. My personal Twitter is TonyKrimson. That's Crimson with a K. All of our music is provided by David Woodward. You can find him on Facebook. And our art is provided by V Weeks. You can follow her on Instagram at VultureCultureV. Shout outs this week. I'm going to shout out the two people that I forgot to shout out in the first episode. I mean, I guess I was still waiting to confirm everything and make sure everything was good. But I do want to give a huge shout out to David Woodward for hooking us up with our sweet ass little entrance music. Maybe one day you guys will hear a little bit more than just a 10-second snippet of it, but it's pretty dope. And then I want to give a huge shout out to V Weeks. She is an artist, a tattoo artist, and like I said, you can find her on Instagram at VultureCultureV. She did all of our wacky flailing inflatable arm tube men that I think are fucking awesome and look just like our characters, and mine looks just like me with the AEW belt and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you took my shout outs, so...
Suck it.
Yeah, so, I mean...
You could also shout them out if you want. I mean...
I also shout them out. Go guys, being the creative people who make us seem even cooler than we already are, so that's awesome. Also, you can find me on Twitter at BigPapaEmily.
Shout out to all of the Instagram and Patreon people. We appreciate the support. You can follow me on Instagram at McBlazier.
I would like to give a special shout out to Emily for working so hard to pump out all these figures. You guys can't see them, unfortunately, in this podcast, but I'm sure you'll see them in some pictures if you follow us on Instagram.
If you sign up for our expensive tier on Patreon, we will hand paint you minifigs and mail them to you.
I wasn't
make
sure
them
if that
for
was
you.
official yet.
Hell
so-
yeah. Oh yeah, that's
okay.
official. It's on the Patreon.
Yes.
It's on the Patreon already.
All right. So, sign up for the Patreon and you can see them firsthand. But yeah, big shout out to you because I know you've been working hard on that. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RollforBryson.
I'm going to shout out Tony for putting up with posting the ads and stuff. Being on top of that, it's shout out worthy.
I mean, it's my normal job is to like manage social media, so
Still,
Well, shout out for the editing then, because I'm sure that's a
Yeah.
blast.
I want to shoot myself in the head every fucking week. I just want to throw that. I love you guys all dearly, but I know each one of your ticks, and when I hear them in person, it makes me want to punch babies.
You can follow me, Tom, on Twitter.
Anyways,
All right, back to my shout out.
That's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was good.
Damn, I was going
we had it this time, guys.
Yeah, right. You can follow me, Tom, on Twitter at TicTacTommie with an IE.
Again, we appreciate you guys coming around and listening to all the dumb shit that we say. And until we see you in the Fungeon next time, have a good one.
Check you later.
We don't have a bard.
Doesn't mean I can't like to sing. Jeez, everybody's a critic.